there's been a lot of talks in regards to the contract, the issues that he's been having with the Giants, and whether or not he feels appreciated. I think that's one of the biggest problems with a lot of the NFL players today. I'm not going to say people are entitled, but listen, if you're a veteran, you've been playing for a long time, you do have a shelf life. And that's kind of the issue that the running backs have been having. Josh Jacobs, Dalvin Cook, whether or not these guys are going to get paid what they want to is what's really in question. But hey, let's get into the video and then we'll mine it out.
I have no worry about going on a football field and knowing that I'm not playing for my worth, or saying if I have to play under, because this is my leverage. My leverage is I can say F you to the Giants. I can say F you to my teammates and be like, you want me to show you my worth? You want to show you how valuable I am to the team? I won't show up. I won't play it down.
So let's just go back a little bit, right? Are we forgetting that Saquon had to sit out because he was injured, right? Now listen, you're a star running back. I get it. You can ball. You get the yards. You get the first downs. You're like a wrecking ball coming through that defensive line. But that's only when you're healthy. When you were injured, the Giants were looking for all kinds of alternatives. But hey, let's keep it going. Shout out to the Josh Hawkins show. What up, yo? Shout out to Babe too. She got me over here laughing. All right, let's keep it going.
And that's a play I can use. Anybody knows me knows that's not something I want to do. But like it's something that crossed my mind. It's like I never thought I would ever do that, but like now I'm at a point where it's like, Jesus, like I might have to take it to this level. And like, am I willing, am I prepared to take it to the level? I don't know.
You know, and let's just veer off from football for a minute. Let's talk about life. Because I feel like this is a teachable moment for anyone that's watching later or listening now. There's got to be a correlation between your job, your career, and obviously your money, right? Find the balance. What makes you happy, what you're willing to sacrifice for that money. Now, a lot of people will never be in Saquon Barkley's position, right, to have the leverage to bargain millions of dollars for a contract, nor have the ability to say, you know what, I'm going to sit it out even though I'm being offered $14 million because I want 22. I'm going to sit it out. I want $14 million, but I'm going to sit it out because I want 22. You know, and that's kind of it's kind of where we are today, whether it be a job, whether it be playing football, whether you want to sell your house, you want to sell your vehicle, you always want the top dollar and the top price. But when you look at the market value in regards to running backs and what they're worth right now and how they're too basically used as a workhorse, they're beat up all the time, and how their shelf life is very low. You're not going to get quarterback money as a running back, and I feel like that's what running backs want. Now, should they get paid? Obviously, they should get paid. They should get what they're worth, but that worth basically has to be determined on what they're actually bringing to the table. But hey, let's go ahead and get into the rest of the story. Saquon Barkley says he considered not playing for the New York Giants this season, admitting during a recent interview that he might have to take it to this level amid his stalemate with the team over a long-term contract. Barkley discussed his leverage and contract negotiations with the Giants during an appearance on the Money Matters podcast that was recorded before Monday's deadline for franchise players to agree to long-term deals. The Giants and Barkley did not agree to a deal before the deadline, meaning the star running back will have to play the upcoming season under the $10 million franchise tender. Oh, my goodness. Only $10 million. But hey, since he still has not signed the tender, Barkley cannot be fined for missing training camp, which begins for Giants veterans on Tuesday. The two-time Pro Bowler will lose money only if he misses regular season games, and he has to forfeit game checks, a possibility he acknowledged he considered. Listen, like I said, 99% of anyone that's watching or listening to this would never be in this situation to say, you know what, I'm going to wait it out. I'm not even going to sign the contract yet for $10 million because I want more money. And there's a lot that goes into, I get it, right? You got your agent fees, you got to pay your taxes. That $10 million at the end of the day probably is more so, I mean, if I'm just going over the top, $4.5 million when it's all said and done. So I get it, right? You put in the work, you should get paid for it. But at the same time, it's kind of like if you look at what's going on with the running backs in the league, you may have to take something on the chin. You may have to take a cut on your pay. But hey, just make sure you're healthy when you do decide to go out there and ball and you're ready to go. Continuing on, says my leverage is I could say F you to the Giants. I could say F you to my teammates, Barkley to the podcast, which published the July 11th interview on Monday, and be like, you want me to show you my worth? You want me to show you how valuable I am to the team? I won't show up. I won't play it down. And that's a play I could use. For some reason, I'm getting emotional vibes from this. You know, all the talk and all the going on podcast and, you know, downing your team and downing your management. Does that sound like someone that you'd want to pay more money? Or does that sound like someone you'd want to have on your team? What kind of chemistry does this lead to in the locker room when you're saying, hey, I'm prepared to show you what I'm worth? No, they should already know what you're worth. If they're not paying you what you're worth, then that might mean something. But hey, it's lightning outside. Thunder. That's what you guys hear in the back. That boom, crack, all that kind of stuff. Rodney says, what they offer him? They offered him $14 million. He's looking for around 22. That's basically what's going on right now. Continuing on, says, anybody who knows me knows it's not something I want to do, but you brought it up. Okay. It is something that crossed my mind. I never thought I would ever do that, but now I'm at a point where I'm like, Jesus, I might just have to take this to this level. Am I prepared to take it to the level? I don't know. I mean, if you said it, you're most likely prepared to. It's your money. People do things for money. It's just a reality of it. Continuing on, Barkley said he wanted to discuss his options with his family and advisors in order to strategize about this rather than just go off emotions. Okay, didn't I just say that? You're talking off emotions. Why not talk to your people before you even went on a podcast and said all this stuff? Talk about pushing the cart before the horse. Adam Schefter earlier this week said that Barkley is not expected to report for the start of training camp. Also, running back Le'Veon Bell was the most recent player to sit out an entire season in 2018 with the Pittsburgh Steelers, in which Le'Veon Bell actually just apologized to the Steelers, and he just said that he should have never did that. You might want to pay attention to people who say stuff like that and realize where they are in their career before you just jump out and decide to act like this for what you think you're worth. But Barkley reiterated during the podcast that he considers himself the best running back in the NFL, but also said he wants to help the Giants win a Super Bowl. If you want to help the Giants win a Super Bowl and you want a Super Bowl ring, get out there, make a deal, show up to camp, and get ready to ball.